I'm Rex Vukanikan, and we're balling today, tomorrow, and maybe yesterday. At what cost? Welcome back. I know, right? It's like, how was I in London, and then all of a sudden I'm back here in Helsinki in my apartment. Like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but I made the real quick transition. And if you guys are wondering, yes, I had a very wonderful time, very, very wonderful time in London, in the UK. I was surprised by how beautiful the place was. I really like architecture, all that. It's nice. I had my camera out the whole time, taking photos, taking videos. And dude, there were so many people wearing NFL merch. It was crazy. Like NFL merch. That was like, of course, yeah, okay, everyone's gonna wear Jordan, everyone's gonna wear like some kind of basketball stuff, but like, yo, there were people rocking it. And of course, I think it's also pretty obvious how much people love F1 there. So everyone's rocking a McLaren or a Mercedes or something like that. So like merch. So yeah, but very pleasantly surprised, dude. There was some people rocking some some fucking crap teams in the NFL. I'm like, shit. That's respect. Of course, they could have been American, but I don't know. Most of them that I saw, they weren't so tourist looking. So, wonderful. Got to experience another country, take a small vacation. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's just get straight right into it. Because I think this was a hectic one. We had a few weeks there where it wasn't so hectic. We're back to hectic again. So, starting off with the NFL, man. There's a lot of moving going on. And then some teams are not so grooving. You know what I'm saying? For example, let me start off. Christian McCaffrey, top 5, top 10 running backs in the league. Traded to the 49ers. They're kind of cleaning house there in Carolina. The Panthers, they threw away Robbie Anderson, like I mentioned last week, I think, or the week before that. Yo, a lot of stuff is happening. Sorry if I can't recall everything. They got rid of Robbie Anderson, and now they got rid of Christian McCaffrey. Now they're saying DJ Moore's out of there soon, too. So who knows what happens. Poor Baker Mayfield is just stuck there by himself. But, I mean, he kind of, he did that to himself. I'm sorry. But now 49ers are going to have I think they really expect a lot from Christian McCaffrey now with this trade. I think they're gonna give him the ball. They're gonna snap him the ball a lot of times, and he's gonna be the one who gets the 3rd and 3s, and all those, or just somehow, it's like fucking 2nd and 1, and then Christian McCaffrey grabs it, runs it all the way to the touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Like a 50-yarder, runs real quick to the touchdown zone. So, and it kind of fits Jimmy Garoppolo's play style. I'm sorry, but it's just like he loves handing the ball, so why not just hand it to one of the best, best in the business. So it's going to be really interesting. He's going to play this week, and we'll see what Christian McCaffrey gets up to. Oh, and I think he also played last week already. Sorry about that. And he did fine, but nothing amazing. No. I'm sorry. I'm bullshitting. I'm tripping out a little bit. Sorry about that. Next one we have, talking about Carolina Panthers. That was a good transition. Talking about Carolina Panthers and cleaning out house. That doesn't fucking mean they're not gonna win. Dude, they won. And you know who they beat? Tom Brady, 45-year-old millionaire who's about to get divorced. They have, 3, 4 beautiful kids. And the wife's even richer than you. So it's just like, fucking, dude, I told you. I said this after the fucking, after the first Buccaneers loss. I was just like, yo, their season might be chalked. And, yeah, truthfully, their season is a bit chalked right now. It doesn't look too good because Panthers gave them a bit of an ass whooping, and we got a little 21-3 action going from the Panthers, and Tom Brady, the GOAT. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what to say. They gotta really to the grindstones, and it's crazy too because they're still at the top of their division. They're still number one in the I still haven't memorized all these divisions. Yeah, they're still number one in the NFC South, 3 and 4. It's just because NFC South is probably the worst division in the fucking whole NFL right now. But I mean, they start picking up a couple win streaks, small win streaks. Like a 3-game win streak would be pretty nice, and then, or like a 2-game win streak, even like you win 2 in a row and then lose 1 on the road, like that's fine. So, it's not done yet. I'm never gonna count Tom Brady out, but it's not looking good. It's seriously not looking good. It looks like it's gonna take a serious amount of work for them to, actually make it far. They might play a wild card, but So, but all the best, and glad that the Panthers took it up. Shit, wasn't looking too good for them there either. And yeah, they cleaned house and they still pulled off a win. So amazing. And next one, Jets. The New York Jets are currently 4 wins in a row. They've been, I think, one of them, or was it? I'm trying to remember how many of those are Zach Wilson wins and how many of them were Flacco wins. I think Flacco was the one that started the streak off, and then Zach Wilson took the last 3. I think so. 4 straight wins, guys. New York's popping up. New York's going ham right now. I don't understand. I don't think you guys understand how fucking crazy New York fucking American football is going right now. Like the football scene in New York, the fans are really happy right now. The fans are very, very satisfied. I'm just trying to pull up real quick. Yeah. So Jets in the AFC East with the Bills. They're 5-2. They've taken some L's, yes, but like I told you, the wins they pull off, they're pretty nice wins. I ain't gonna lie. It's every time they win, it's impressive. But one big news that broke out this past week, Breece Hall, star running back of the Jets, one of the big reasons why the Jets are have like a very strong offensive presence. He's injured. I think it was a torn ACL, and he's out for the season. So then, bada bing, bada boom, some quick moves. New York Jets went and signed James Robinson from the Jaguars, right? Because the Etienne guy was doing pretty well. So then James Robinson straight to the Jets. Yeah, I think he's gonna do well. I personally have James Robinson actually. He had a couple pop-off games with the Jaguars, and the whole offense utilizes Breece Hall quite a lot, so I don't see why they can't just do the same and tell James Robinson do the same that Breece Hall did. So I think it's going to work out, actually. So that's why I'm sticking. I ain't kicking him out yet, I ain't dropping him yet. So, yeah, very interesting. The Jets are just smashing it. I think they can do really, really well. And they just, like I told you, they just have enough key players in certain key positions that are just doing exactly what they need to be doing, and that's how they're finding the success. It's cool. And then the Saleh guy, who's the head coach, he's been shit on before. Took the 49ers, I think, to the Super Bowl and lost that. So now he's winning again. So sick, very sick. Anyways, next one. Big news. This is news that puts a smile on my face because this is my NFL franchise. This is my team in the NFL. The Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith, Pete Carroll are on top in the NFC West right now. You know what I'm saying? They can't be fucked with right now. And the thing is okay, I'm going to say at the start of this season, the very start, like first 2 weeks, I was still a little bitter about Seahawks. So I was like, fuck it, fuck Seahawks, or not fuck Seahawks. But I was just like, I still need some fucking time, And Russell Wilson, I was just all about Russell Wilson and Broncos with. We're not going to talk about Russell Wilson and Broncos this week because fuck that shit. And I already spoke my mind, and I'm still of the same opinion of the week before and the week before that and the week before that and all the other weeks before that, But the Seattle Seahawks they've shown that they did not troll shit. They did not they weren't trolling, They might have but it's just they lost one player. They lost one player and a few defensive players. They lost Russell Wilson, and then they lost a couple of defensive. It's not chalked. You got to lock it. You had Metcalf. Boom. Rashad Penny gets injured. But then, boom, this Kenneth Walker dude comes in, and he's a fucking star. It's insane. So, and Geno Smith, he knows the fucking playbook. They're going nuts. They're going nuts right now. NFC West on top right now. Let's check this shit out, man. You know who else is in the NFC West? Number 2 ranked? It's the LA Rams. Motherfuckers who won the Super Bowl last year. They're the champs. And they ain't got, and then the 49ers. Okay, 49ers, they had the best luck, but they're supposed to still be a decent team. You're getting schmacked. And then Cardinals. Cardinals are getting schmacked too. And then Seahawks, then the teams they're beating, it's like they're not horrible. They just beat the Chargers, guys. Do you understand? They just beat the Chargers, and we're all about oh my God, Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, dangerous, unstoppable, only gonna get better from here. Yeah, but Geno Smith, he's him right now. Seahawks are lit right now. I'm lit right now, okay? That's all I got to say. And somewhere else where it's not so lit and bright days and all that, we're talking about trouble in New England, man. Because first, Zap. I got corrected. It's supposed to be Zappy. I'm going to still call it Zap. Because that just sounds lit. It sounds pretty fucking funny. Zap instead of Zappy. I don't want to be Zappy. I want to be Zap. So, but sorry about that. Bailey Zappi was highly touted after pulling off a win. Yeah, they pulled off a win against someone last week. I'm going to pull that out, actually, since I got it right here. Ain't no thing. Sorry about that. Yeah, they beat the Browns in dominant fashion. And then I think even before that, the week before that, yeah, they beat the Lions 29-0. I remember talking about that. And those two games were both Bailey Zappi. I don't know about the weeks before, but those two were at least. And then everyone's like, oh my God, he's better than Mac Jones. And Mac Jones is the second string quarterback right now. But then guess what? Chicago Bears kind of balled out on Bailey Zapp, on the Zappy, you know what I'm saying? The Zappy got zapped. Yeah. And it was not good, and it did not look good. And then now Bill Belichick, quick on the trigger, Mac Jones is back in as starting quarterback for next week. So it's looking like a lot of inconsistencies right now, but I really feel like it's also just how it's Belichick mastermind. If he's pulling the trigger this fast, he's got some kind of grand plan behind it. Something about the plays or something about something. And he's just thinking about the next week matchup. I wouldn't be surprised if he just cycles in between the two based on how their strengths and then how it matches up to the defense, genuinely. So trouble in New England, yes, there is, but is it crucial, urgent trouble? Yeah, probably for Belichick's standards, but I think not all hope is lost yet. They're playing. Are they out next week? Yeah, actually, looking at this, no, they're playing the Jets. Okay, well, Jets are kind of on fire right now, so I don't know how that one's gonna play out, but Mac Jones is kind of known for fucking throwing interceptions too, and there's the Sauce Gardner guy. Yeah, okay, well, we'll just have to see how next week goes. It's next week might be a little bit troublesome still, but maybe the week after that is a little bit easier. Okay, but matchups going into week 8, into the next week. We're already around halfway through the regular season, a little over, I think, halfway in the regular season, and it's shaping out to be a pretty decent one. But just talking about next week, first matchup that I think is worth to watch or worth to keep an eye on is the Saints versus Raiders matchup. I just feel like it's going to be real competitive. The Raiders are slowly picking up their pace a little bit more, slowly, getting in the right gears, and I guess Saints in a way too. Saints are just so you don't they did okay against the Cardinals, and then Cardinals clutched on them last, and then they lost to Bengals, but the Bengals were tough, and the week before that they beat the Seahawks, and we know how legit the Seahawks are, right? So it really depends. But I think either way, it's going to be competitive, for sure. So, looking forward to that matchup. I think. Sorry, let me just find where I'm at. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of. I think there's going to be a lot of throwing. I feel like it's going to be a lot of Devontae Adams or Olave, just catching the ball, and yeah, it's. I think Saints might have an upper hand when it comes to defense compared to Raiders. The Raiders' defense is not so bueno. But if Josh Jacobs does what he's been doing right now in the Raiders, then I think the Raiders at least have a bit of an offensive edge. So that's why I'm saying competitive matchup. They're kind of like equal teams as if we're just talking about standings and whatnot, and playoff prospects and all projections and all that. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one, and I really would just want to see how it goes. Of course, I'm more rooting for Raiders, but I like Saints too, so let's just see how it goes. Anyways, the next one, another competitive matchup in my opinion. This is my opinion. All of this is my opinion. Seahawks versus Giants. Seahawks are on fire right now. Giants are on fire right now. Anything can happen. But Giants are 6-1 right now. Giants are literally one of the best teams, top 10 in the league right now. And Seahawks are top 10 as well. Seahawks are top 10 as well. I think. Yes. Literally, I think power rankings, at least the ESPN power rankings, like Seahawks. So I think it's just going to be a competitive matchup. Both of them, I feel like they're at a stage where like both of them kind of don't really want to take the loss at all. Like, or like this is a very important like win to get or loss to not get. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be one of those where it's offense on offense. Who comes out on top? You guys of course know who I want to come out on top, but yeah. But the thing is like I have nothing. Like I've said all the other episodes, I've had no problem with Giants' success. I think they deserve it. I think the New York fans have been suffering for way too long. So, yeah, let's hopefully that one will be a banger matchup and down to the wire kind of stuff. And then the next one, this is a classic one. This is kind of like when I said in the other podcast, Raiders versus Chiefs is a classic matchup that I always like to watch. And this next one is pretty much the same. It's the Rams versus 49ers. Something about that NFC West, right? Yeah. Something about that NFC West matchup just is very intriguing every time. I think it's almost like something to do with the logo colors. I'm like, shit, it's like red versus blue. Like my ape brain is just big. Oh, red versus blue. Ooh, it's gonna be good. Anyways, yeah. So basically, guys, watch this because of colors. I'm losing it. Sorry, guys. It's gonna be interesting. Rams really need to win. 49ers need to win. They both need a win, so they can get into touching distance from to the Seahawks. You know, because after this, you know, after week 8, the NFC West is going to be reshuffled pretty much. It could be reshuffled, right? Or it could stay the same. So let's see what happens. Next one. This is an upset that I'm predicting or not. Yeah, I guess I'm predicting since I'm mentioning it. But like Cardinals could upset the Vikings. I think Cardinals, yes, it's like they're going through the shitter right now a little bit. But no, just let DeAndre Hopkins get back into the routine. And then Kyler Murray, you know, gets into the routine with him. And then I think no problem at all. And I'm not saying Vikings are like falling off somehow, like not at all. But it's just, I don't know. There's something about Vikings when they're winning compared to like the other strong ass teams that are winning. You know, there's just a slight difference there. So yeah, I think the Cardinals, if they just come balling out with DeAndre Hopkins, I don't see why not. Because personally, I'm going to be honest with you, I think Kyler Murray can ball out with DeAndre Hopkins better than Kirk Cousins can ball out with Justin Jefferson. That's just my opinion. So let's see. It's going to be a fun one. And then another one, and this is the respect to the fucking GOAT right here, because I'm saying the Buccaneers could upset the Ravens. That's like, I threw that out there, man. The Buccaneers, they're gonna, you know, Tom Brady's like, fuck all this bullshit. I cannot do this anymore. We gotta win, and they're gonna win. Just like that, as simple as that. This one's gonna prove that. This one's gonna be the one that proves Tom Brady is is still him. They're going to do a classic Ravens. Lamar Jackson balls out first half, and then, Buccaneers are trailing behind, and all of a sudden, fucking fourth quarter, 3 minutes on the clock, Buccaneers get it into field goal, fucking win the game. Because it's Tom Brady. Because losing ain't an option with the GOAT. So, yeah. I'm going to stick to that. I saw that. I saw the vision. And I'm like, yeah, it's hitting. All right. So, that's all I got for Week 8 and Week 7 recap of the NFL. Certainly kind of a pivotal one, I'd say. I think Week 7 showed a lot of possibly of what a team or the projection of the rest of the season is like. So, yeah, very interesting. Can't wait for more this weekend. Anyways, the F1 Texas shootout happened last weekend in Austin. Austin awesomeness. Carlos Sainz pole on Saturday. I'm gonna get right into the topics. Carlos Sainz, smooth operator. Got a pole in America. Like that. I like that a lot. Too bad I didn't bet on it, but I like that a lot. Yeah, like that's the news of Saturday. But then, turn 1 on Sunday off the first opening lap, turn 1, Carlos Sainz minding his own business in second place, because he got overtaken by Max Verstappen. And then, nope, that's not all he's got to worry about. He's got to worry about a freaking George Russell flying Mercedes, Bam! Hits him on the back wheel on the side and then spins him out, and then it's donezo. There goes Sainz pole. Bruh. Like, seriously, come on. What are we doing, yo? What are we doing? I ain't gonna lie. I've spoken surprisingly good about George Russell this season. I've had a lot of high praise, but dude, what the fuck are you doing? I already had a little bit like bias against you because you've fucking been beefing with my boy Valtteri Bottas. Dude, the fucking balls the kid has to go point the middle finger at the flying Finn after taking him out, and the fact that he knows he's going to take his seat. Go fuck yourself. Where's the respect, you cocksucker? Come on. And then now it's just, yeah, dude, F1 Twitter's been going crazy. They've been cooking the boy, I think that's like healthy, It's like, on social media, just like a quick week of just like roasting him, and then like he'll be a little more careful when we go to Mexico this weekend. But yeah, George Russell's got to start braking a little earlier, and don't take my boy Sainz out next time, because I put 10 euros for Sainz to win that race. I never even fucking got to see, if he had a chance. So, fuck you, George Russell. You cost me 10 euros. Yes, but that's how the race started on Sunday. Quite unfortunate. But then what happened next was we had the old legend, the old fox, Fernando Alonso, and the Austin circuit has one of the longest straights. Yeah, I think it's legit one of the longest straights. The back straight, at least in the circuit, is a long one. So you got DRS on, you got the wing flap on, and you got the battery fully charged, and you're flying down there, and you're trying to overtake someone. But, it's a wide, long track, You can do a little bit defending, a little bit of nudging. So the old fox, the legend Fernando Alonso, the two-time world champion Fernando Alonso, was chasing his future teammate Lance Stroll that was driving in the Aston Martin. He was chasing the Aston Martin, and they were in the back straight, and Lance Stroll just defended a little too much, maybe moved a little bit to the center of the track a little too late when Alonso was real close, and wait, yo, okay, yeah, okay, let me just tell this story, what happened. But anyways, Alonso ends up hitting his right front wing on the back left wing of Lance Stroll's car, and it just sends Alonso into a freaking wheelie of fucking over 200 kilometer. No, I'm pretty sure it's close to 300 kilometer per hour freaking just car wheelie, just freaking like boom, 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 scrapes the wall a little bit, keeps on fucking going. This guy's a legend. This guy's an absolute legend. And it was just, maybe a little awkward that it was his future teammate. Whatever, it's the back straight. Some shit like this happens when you're chasing another fast car down. But what doesn't happen often is that Fernando Alonso has this big contact with Lance Stroll, and the car is still very drivable. He goes in, even though he's got like a wing, a bunch of parts have fallen off, but it's still pretty drivable. Ended up in P7 after the race. Like when the race ended, he was in P7. So this guy actually just still went crazy and had a crazy recovery drive. And then FIA on some weird shit, yo. This has been a weird, not so good year for the FIA. But, as if the year before that was better. But, like, this one definitely, it wasn't better at all. But FIA decides to hit Fernando Alonso with a freaking 30-second penalty after the race had ended, like after like all of it. They give him a 30-second penalty, and then, and Alonso ends up P15. So no one's going to fucking count the P15. Everybody believes that Alonso was in P7. Of course, the points don't show, but everybody remembers now. But that was fucking amazing. That was truly amazing what the dude did. And I freaked out for a second because, dude, like, he got launched in Spa by Lewis Hamilton. Like, dude, he's getting launched every way possible. He got launched ass up in Spa, and now he got launched nose up fucking in America. So, guy's been through a lot. Well, I don't know. What is he? 2 years in Aston Martin? He's definitely done after that. Maron. But yeah, it's just awesome to see Alonso and like an old timer just do it so well. And you know who else is an old timer who does it so fucking well? Sebastian Vettel, dude. Sebastian Vettel was able to score a P7 in the Aston Martin. And we all know that Aston Martin isn't the strongest car out there. I have mentioned how Aston Martin has definitely made some improvements, and it's fucking awesome to see how Sebastian Vettel, retiring at the end of the season, is making the most out of it. He's up there nice in the points. So, and everyone was freaking out. The dude was leading the whole race for quite a while, like for a good amount of laps. He was the top dog there. So, just shout out to those legends, bro. Shout out, yo. Actually, shout out. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, doesn't that make everyone else look so bad? Like, we have Sebastian Vettel. He hasn't been winning like at all for a long time. He still got it. Fernando Alonso, even crazier example. He still got it. Just because they're fucking world champions, They really have that experience. I understand why if you win a world championship in F1, your contract is the stock goes so much higher because, dude, you need so much to actually, be a world champion. So, dude, those guys still have it. They're always going to have it. So it's just awesome to see them do well. But lots of battles in Austin, lots of side-by-side car racing. In my opinion, I'd say Austin is a top 5 circuit. I think there's some brilliant racing there, and I think the Sector 1 is so technical, and so fun. Like turn 1 of the Austin circuit, it's genuinely one of the best overtaking turns in the whole F1 calendar because you can just send it. Because if you send it, if you do well and still under brake and then like get the car rotated and you don't have wheel spin, you can overtake just by sending it. And there's so much space, and the freaking how it like goes up in an incline, so it's just really cool, man. It almost kind of sucks that they're adding Las Vegas now, and then they have Miami because, dude, Austin is enough, or it's just Austin's that good. I don't think like, okay, yeah, Miami has the glamour, so does Las Vegas, but dude, Austin's got the best track for sure, 100%. So, man, just more fuck yeah. They got to keep Austin for a while. Oh yeah, and there was another quick battle for the win. A little bit of a last season throwback. Hamilton and Verstappen. Hamilton was leading the race. Verstappen was with slightly better tires, and then just it was lap 50 of 56. So pretty end of the race, Verstappen and Hamilton battling it out. Who gets on top? Well, of course, Verstappen. But, dude, see, Hamilton he's getting close, man. He was 6 laps away from winning the race. So, if he wins in Brazil, I don't think he's going to win in Mexico. The straights are way too... The straight there in Mexico, you actually have to have the best like straight line speed car, and Mercedes aren't that, so they're gonna lose a lot of time, and I don't think they're gonna be able to do anything crazy. But if Hamilton wins, and if he wins in Brazil, man, I think the Brazilians would go as crazy as if it was like an actual Brazilian driver who won at home. I think they'd go pretty crazy. So Still banking on it. Hamilton for the win before the season ends. 100%. And, of course, after the results of the Sunday race, Red Bull wins the Constructors' Championship. First time Mercedes haven't won since 2013. So they broke Merck's big, long streak. And, what is that? Well, I'm on a little bit of a diet now. Just started, but I guess I'll grab a sugar-free Red Bull tomorrow to celebrate, huh? Something like that. Good for Red Bull. I really think I don't want to get too deep and off topic, but Red Bull is an energy drink company, and if we're looking at social media right now and looking at all like what's really like something that a lot of influencers are pushing, it's just energy drinks. Celsius, all kinds of like different, energy drinks that are just getting pumped with investors' money, and the whole part of an energy drink is that you can just You have the same profit, but if you market the fuck out of it and you make people only drink that one pretty much, or make a lot of people just have that as their favorite energy drink, then you can achieve a lot of things. And Red Bull right now, in every single way, they're achieving a lot of things. They're throwing events all over the world. Red Bull events all over the world. They have Red Bull in pretty much every sport there is, right, on Earth. And one of the most prestigious sports in the world, Formula One, Red Bull's on top right now. So, gotta buy Red Bull stock. Gotta have a Red Bull. You know, it gives you wings. Hey, it gives you wings. Look at that. All right. I'll take it. But congrats to the Red Bull boys. They deserve it. They were the better men this season. And, yeah, we're going into Mexico this weekend. Mexican GP. I'm going to say Sergio Perez wins at home because why the fuck not? I want to see that. Everybody wants to see that. He has a good chance of doing it. If Verstappen, dude, yo, come on. Verstappen, they want everything. Verstappen, just give it to him. Just give it to him. Just give it to the boy. Come on, do him a fucking favor. Come on, what are we kidding? Come on. He helped you out last season. All right, and he helped you out this season too. Just give him the win. Right? Just give him the win. So that's all I gotta say about Mexico. There's a big long straight there. It's a very good track as well. Excited to see what happens. But yeah, that's what F1's looking like right now. From now on, I can only talk race by race because all the championships have been decided now. I'm lying because of the other ones that I talked about last week, of the second and third place. Okay, yes. All right, okay, I'll talk about that after Mexico for sure. But right now, there's a lot less that I have to talk about. It's not as intense anymore. It's a little bit more relaxed, the F1 season, which is good, which is really good. Because now everyone can just fucking stress-free just race the hell out of each other, So that's all I had for F1. And the next topic, sport we're on, is MMA, is UFC 280. That just happened. And guess what? There is a new champion in the UFC. But I'm going to get to that. So basically, I have to say, if we're talking about prelims, like the whole evening, the whole event, it wasn't that stacked. Unless if you were a longtime fan of Khabib, and you followed Khabib and his team, then maybe you would have been a huge fan because I think there was 4 fighters that event fighting out of Khabib's team, and they all won. Oh, no shit. But yeah, it's just it wasn't like super stacked, but there was definitely matchups there was 2 that was in the prelims that definitely kept an eye on, and then just of course pretty much all the main card events were awesome. Fights were awesome. So all right, started off, we have Muhammad Mokaev versus Malcolm Gordon. And Muhammad Mokaev, now this guy is a dangerous motherfucker. All right, he's a flyweight. He's currently ranked 15th, but it's just because he's only at the very beginning of his UFC career. He is now 9-0 in his professional career, and he's only 22 years old. So he has a long road to go, but a very good-looking road to go. And the way this guy is winning so far, very impressive. Very impressive. He fights Malcolm Gordon, and it's a pretty kind of even fight during the whole time. Round 1 and round 2, and then round 3, the last round, it's still, Malcolm Gordon tried to, hit Mokaev up with a bunch of, takedowns and, ground control and stuff like that. But that didn't fucking bother Mokaev, dude. Mokaev, boom, 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 readjusts. Fucking 30 seconds left in the fight, and he gets an arm bar submission. So he's looking very very dangerous in the flyweight division now. I wouldn't be surprised if after 2 or 3 more dominant victories, he can be up in the top 5 already, or matched up against the top 5 fighters. So, all right, excited to see that, how the 22-year-old goes on from here. Anyways, next one. This was the last fight of the prelims. It was Belal Muhammad versus Sean Brady. Sean Brady, coming into this fight, was 15-0 in his professional career. So actually a very, very, very legit guy. And Belal Muhammad, he's also cemented himself as a very top tier welterweight as well. And that guy's been through some wars for sure. I think I watched like 2 of his UFC Apex fights, but he's currently ranked number 4 in the welterweight division, Belal Muhammad, and he definitely now cemented himself as like a contender for the belt, or contender for the belt, or a contender to one of the contenders, right, in the welterweight. So, we have we have him at four wins in a row now, Belal Muhammad, and they've been they're pretty dominant wins. He hasn't gone to decision too many times, and this one was a TKO, end of second round as well. So serious talks in a probably title shot soon, or he's just gonna get matched up between another top welterweight. I'm trying to think, because it's kind of like, okay, well, if there's talks of Khamzat Chimaev fighting Colby Covington, so maybe, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Belal Muhammad, I think he's going to find someone who talks a lot. Maybe like Jorge Masvidal. I would kind of want to see that. They'd brawl out. For sure. So, all right. But four straight wins now. And Belal Muhammad, I think he's definitely earned the title shot soon. So, good on him. And, Sean Brady got a loss now. So gave a guy his first 1, or took away his 0, sorry. So that's always impressive to see. Anyways, the next fight was a lightweight fight in the main card. It was Beneil Dariush versus Mateusz Gamrot. And it was a pretty easy decision from the refs. Beneil Dariush wins by decision, and he keeps his win streak intact right now. Dariush, he's a guy who has before in the past been scheduled to fight Islam Makhachev, and he was even scheduled to fight Charles Oliveira. He's always been a top welterweight, but never, just because of complications, bad luck, everything like that, he's always been held back from like a proper title shot or a title run, you know what I'm saying? So now he's, even though with the complications of pulling out of fights, now he's still got his 8-fight win streak alive. He's never lost. He's just backed out of fights because of, injuries and all that. And then, now he's I think he got moved up in the rankings as well in the lightweight division. So the lightweight division is crazy right now after this Dariush win. So if you want to know how the top 5 looks right now, it's absolutely nuts. We have the new champion, which I'm going to get to. And then we have Du Bronx as the contender. And then we have Dustin Poirier second. And then we have the Hammerhand himself, Justin Gaethje, in third. And then Beneil Dariush in fourth. He ranked 2 positions, so he was in 6th, and now he's in 4th. And Michael Chandler in 5th. The lightweight top 5 is nuts. The men's lightweight top 5 is nuts. It is. You can make a matchup with any of those, and that you can sell out the main event and do crazy pay-per-view numbers, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So right now, I think Beneil Dariush winning was awesome because it just does that for the lightweight division. You can do anything within the top 5, and it would be fireworks, just fireworks. So that's awesome that Dana doesn't have to stress about the lightweight division anymore, or not too much. There's still a lot can still happen, but that's all I'm gonna say for now. Anyways, next up we have Sugar Sean O'Malley, 17-0, 0 losses. Beats Petr Yan via split decision, a very, very controversial decision by the judge. Sorry about that. By the judges. People are calling it a robbery. Khabib. There was a video of Khabib watching the fight. Khabib was like, "How did Sugar Sean O'Malley just win?" And this is my opinion. All right, listen. So I watched the fight. Okay, guys, I watched the whole fight. Did you know I watched every single minute of the fight? I watched the whole fight. I personally think that damage over control is what I look at, or the way I would judge or go about judging it. Of course, I don't know how they judge it. That's the whole point. Like, this is my opinion. I'm a dumbass. I don't know shit. But I would say that, okay, Petr Yan took him down so many times, right? But every time he took Sugar Sean O'Malley down, it's like, it was not like he went ahead and ground pound controlled him and, busted Sugar Sean O'Malley up. That's the thing. And then every time Sugar Sean O'Malley would get up and then they would be standing again, Sugar Sean O'Malley is just a little bit more effective. So, yes, I know you could maybe just judge, of course you judge by the rounds and, you give either way, robbery or not, controversial or not. This just means it was a very, very tight and very even fight, very equal matchup. And those guys were going to war. Those guys were, they were giving it their all, and it was an amazing fight to watch. There was so much technical, it was a very technical fight. Like, the striking, they were not shy with the striking and the taking down. All the times Petr Yan took Sugar Sean O'Malley down, but Sugar Sean O'Malley figured out a way to try to get up and not take damage. That was a tight fight. So, I personally, even though, Sugar Sean O'Malley won that, I would love to see a rematch. I would very much love to see a rematch. I think that is a perfect, physical matchup or fighter matchup. And, very likely that you can get a trilogy out of it too. So, But like I said last week, this the results of this week mixes up the whole bantamweight division quite a lot. And to get more in depth with that, the next fight that we had in the evening was Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw. And this was a little bit more one-sided. TJ Dillashaw was pretty much fighting with one arm and hand because his shoulder was just absolutely crap. It was revealed after the fight that TJ said that he's been dealing with pretty much a shoulder that's been popping out the whole time during training camp, and he just didn't tell anybody about it. And then now it cost him the win. Or it cost him the title. So, you never want to see that happen, but, it's not like, because if TJ Dillashaw says, yo, I got a fucked up shoulder, he's missing out from like a few $100,000. So, you can't really blame anyone, but now TJ has just lost his proper chance at a title. And, and I don't think they're going to give him another shot, to be honest. And Aljamain Sterling kind of defeated him in dominant fashion then. Round 2, TKO'd TJ Dillashaw, so unlucky for TJ Dillashaw, but like I said, this is the fun part. It mixes a lot of things up in the bantamweight division. We have Chito Vera now. We have Sugar Sean O'Malley. We have Petr Yan. We have Dillashaw. We have Aljamain Sterling as the champion. This is like, anything can happen at this point. Anything can happen. I would want to see Chito Vera fight one of these top guys, Dillashaw or Sugar Sean or, Petr Yan, or even give Chito Vera a shot at the fucking title. I don't know. But all I know is I don't think Sterling's holding on to that bantamweight championship for much longer, because everyone else, there's some killers coming up right now. For real, some killers. So, yeah, bantamweight has been shakened up, and it tastes delicious. Okay, I don't think that worked. Yeah, but anyways, looks really good. And then the last fight of the night, the main event, Islam Makhachev versus Charles "Du Bronx" Oliveira. And I called out the wrong thing, yo. I was completely wrong. This one kind of sucked. I ain't gonna lie, this one kind of sucked, but I never had anything against Islam Makhachev, so it's not like I'm out here hating, But Islam Makhachev pretty much dominates Charles Oliveira. Round 2, gets a triangle armbar on Charles Oliveira, and he taps out. I am extremely impressed. I am extremely surprised by how dominant Islam Makhachev is. If you think about the toughest opponent he's had, was nowhere near close to Charles Oliveira's, standard. But I think Islam, and whatever Khabib's teaching, I think it's the best version of MMA right now. It's just difficult to go against. I think you have to give Charles Oliveira a second chance just because of how impressive he has been before. But I think if Islam wins the second one against Charles Oliveira, dominant fashion, and then I think he stays champion for a long time, for a while at least. The next one, like I said last week, it was confirmed that Alexander Volkanovski fights the winner or gets a lightweight title belt shot next. So Islam Makhachev versus Volkanovski sometime next year then. And that should be fun. But I seriously think, at least size-wise, I think Makhachev beats, Volkanovski just off the way I'm looking at it. Volkanovski's pound for pound right now the best in the world. So I'm not going to put doubt on him either. He's a bad motherfucker right now, right? And I'm like if he wins the lightweight championship, I genuinely think he might be like pound for pound all time, like greats, like easily, like John Jones fucking level, Anderson Silva level, like who else? All kinds of levels. So it kind of sucks because this one was more like, there was so much anticipation going into it, right? And then I saw the results and I watched the fights, and then now there's even more anticipation. Like, after a fight or after an sports event, you're supposed to feel like, it's all chill now. It's like, now it's gone. Okay, now I know the results. Okay, whatever. Now I can chill. But now it's just like, dude, this one mixed up the bantamweight and the lightweight division so much. Like, now I'm anticipating more. I just want more from those guys. So it's just awesome to see. It was a great event. But can't wait for the UFC to be back in Madison Square Garden next month. Israel Adesanya fights Alex Pereira for the middleweight belt. Esparza fights Zhang Wei Li for the women's flyweight belt. I think it's the flyweight belt. Strawweight belt. And obviously I'm rooting for my girl Zhang Wei Li. And then so just a bunch of great stuff is but that's next month. So, now I get to, unless if they have some crazy fight nights, I think this just means I'm going to be dumbing down a little bit on the UFC news for maybe an episode or two. All right. Anyways, moving on to the last sport. I have to, of course, talk about this sport because it's a beautiful sport. I think mixed martial arts has the most beauty in it. Like, if we're talking about beautiful games, I think mixed martial arts, because it's one-on-one, like, war. It's literally like what, like, humans have been fighting for years, since the beginning of time. Like, dude, that's an art. There's a reason why it's called mixed martial art. It's beautiful, it's an art, all that. But if we're talking about ball sports, I think basketball is one of the most beautiful ball sports. It's just the way people position themselves and move and make a play just to score 1 point. And you got to do that all over again and again, and then figure out how to defend at the same time. It's crazy. It's a beautiful game. But I'm going to just start off with a little week 1 recap of the NBA. I know the NBA doesn't go by weeks. It's a long fucking season. It's a lot of games in the regular season. But since I'm doing a episode a week, why not just go by weeks, kind of just talk about the big topics that has happened in the last week and how teams are standing right now. That's kind of how I think is the best way I could do this. So I'm going to start it off getting fucking hyped, because the Utah Jazz is for reals. Lauri Markkanen is for reals. This guy balled the fuck out in the European Championship during the summer. Single-handedly took Finland to the semifinals. Almost beat Spain. Unfortunately lost. But this guy had a 31-point average when he was playing in that tournament. So he was going off. And right now, the Utah Jazz is going off. Let's see this. Let me pull this out. Right now, they're second seed in the Western Conference. Second seed. They've lost 1 game. They won 4. Kelly Olynyk hit a fucking ugly ass finger roll win to beat the Pelicans. Yeah, so they're just balling out. Markkanen's been playing crazy. My Finnish boy. He's been playing crazy, man. He's just he's doing what he has to do in the small forward position, and finally you're giving this guy a fucking started position. So sorry guys. Like I said, I was on a diet. My stomach's not used to it. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, my Finnish man is balling out. Utah Jazz, they don't fucking need Donovan Mitchell. They don't need Rudy Gobert. They were the problem. Now they're balling out. They got a deep bench too. That's the thing. They have like they're deep. They got it all right now. So let the tall white boys ball out in Utah. So yeah, the Jazz are off to a hot start, which I really, really like. Lakers are a flop. I'm just gonna get straight to it. Like, Lakers are a flop. They're currently on a donut right now, a little donut here, and then they got this many losses. So donut wins, this many losses, and it's not good. Probably don't feel so good because you're 0-3, and then Russell Westbrook was shooting at 8% from the three-point line. And then you're gonna blame Russell Wilson. Oh, he's the reason why we're 0-3. Play the next game without Russell Wilson, 0-4. Like, it's like what? This is your king. This is your. These guys won a championship two years ago, dude. Stop it! Come on, man. What are we doing, guys? This is how we're gonna. LeBron's about to beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's point scoring record. He's gonna be all-time most points ever scored ever. And then he's still losing. It's come on, man. Anthony Davis, the Lakers, all of those guys, they gotta help LeBron James out. They gotta help the king out a little bit. Jesus. I think there's just too much star power there. It's true. I'm serious. I feel like in the NBA, especially the recent years, you put like a fucking superstar team together. What do they do? Really? Like, what do they do? I don't think they're doing anything crazy. Like, you see more teams that have like one star player, and then they just do really well. But right now it just ain't looking too good. I feel like there's a lot of internal problems, and the Lakers are a flop. And yeah, just good luck to them. Good luck. Sorry, you might deserve it, Lakers. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that. And then the next team I'm gonna mention, which is basically the fucking East version of the Lakers, 76ers. They're 1-4. They're also going through it. Lots of star power. They got James Harden now. They got Joel Embiid. They got a lot of eyes. It's Philly fans. Those guys are savages. And they're just crumbling. They're just nothing's like, come on, guys. I mean, I'm sure that it's not going to be that bad for either of the teams at the end of the season, but come on. This is how you start? Because right now, I think the Utah Jazz is going to do better, even if they don't look like a more stacked team. They've been winning. You haven't. It's that simple. So I think they're going to keep winning and you're going to keep losing. So 76ers, fix your shit. I want to see you guys do that bad either. You guys are decent. Come on. Joel Embiid shed too many tears for y'all be losing like this. So that's the at least the two like star power teams that have been doing not so good. a star power kind of team that is doing really good and doing what they're supposed to do is Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis. Those guys. They're balling. They're balling. They never had a problem. They never had a problem. Brook Lopez. Still balling out there with them. Chris Middleton. Yeah. So I think they're getting back to championship shape, last year. Last year they didn't do too hot. Warriors came out on top, but I just think that they had an off year. Now they can improve a lot. Giannis is still Giannis, and I think if they stay in the same shape and keep on making improvements, I don't see why not. Why not? They couldn't make it to the championships. Truthfully. And right now they're looking like the only big, strong team in the East. Like I was thinking, like if we look at the East right now, I don't think any of the strong teams could even fuck with the Bucks. If we're really honest, like I'm looking over here. Okay, yes, there's a lot of random teams all of a sudden this year that are in the top 8 or whatever. But if you look, okay, what's a strong team that we always know from the East? Boston Celtics. I don't think the Boston Celtics can beat the Bucks. What's another team? Miami Heat. Miami Heat are struggling right now. They're 2-3. I don't think they can beat the Bucks either. Philadelphia 76ers, Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets is even struggling. They got 1 win under their belt, and they got 3 losses. Even the Brooklyn Nets, I don't see them anywhere near the Bucks, team. And then 76ers, like I said. So I think it's almost pretty easy for Milwaukee Bucks to make the finals from the East. I think they're genuinely the best team in the East right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're the best team in the East this whole season, this whole regular season. So good on them. It's very interesting that they're posing this big of a threat this early, because I feel it. I don't know if anyone else does, but I certainly feel it. Because Western Conference, there's no one big force. I know we're only a week in. We really have to see, but I don't. And I have a take. I think the Memphis Grizzlies can do something crazy this season. I think the Memphis Grizzlies, if they play really well and they start winning over the strong Western teams and also Eastern teams, they can make the finals. I am predicting right now a Milwaukee Bucks Memphis Grizzlies finals. I think that's very possible. Ja Morant and his team, they have a freaking strong core. Very, they built something from the ground up there, and they're just balling out right now. And I don't think there's no other team like that can stop them, other than the Warriors maybe. But Warriors could struggle. They could struggle. I don't think they're gonna struggle that much. But they might just get thrown off every now and then. Ja Morant decides to go off. So that's just how it's looking right now. And just a couple bullshittery that I have to bring up. Grant Williams of the Boston Celtics, he gets suspended for one whole ass game, because referee called a foul, right? And then Grant Williams just fallen kind of next to the referee, falling on the ground, and then he gets up immediately, bounces up, and while he's bouncing up, he accidentally, made a little bit of contact with the referee, and that's somehow bad. That's somehow real illegal, real not so bueno of him. So I guess, dude, NBA, I have to say the reffing is the one thing that keeps me away is one aspect that I don't like about an NBA that I can fully admit. Just like how, I don't know, Just like how UFC fights are usually during disgusting times, how F1, it's all about money, and how NFL, it's all about who gets the first draft pick. I don't know. So I think the NBA reffing is just a little bit chalked. I think the NBA protects their refs more than they protect their players, which is just chalked. So it is what it is. Hopefully, we won't see any of that bullshittery anymore. And one last thing. This is almost a perfect thing to end it with because it's just so funny. Because we have Robin Lopez. He's still not in, I'm not dissing him or anything, but like he's still somehow in the league. The Brooke Lopez has been balling out in the Bucks, but like Robin Lopez, not so much. I'm sorry, but he's in the Bulls nowadays, and Robin Lopez. Oh, and he's back in the Bulls too. I think he used to be in the Bulls before, and I think he's back there now. Middle of a game, posts up, under the basket, falls down on his ass with his back facing the basket, and then he just throws it up behind his back, and for a fact that if you miss that shot, if he fucking in the middle of an NBA game decides to take a no-looker sitting down shot and it doesn't go in, he's getting dropped the next week. So, but it's so much better, that fact that he actually he went for it, he makes it, and the bench just goes crazy. They were playing in Chicago too, so it was home fans, and they were just going absolutely mad. And it's classic Robin Lopez bullshit too. Robin Lopez is known for this kind of just fuckery, and another one of those for the highlight reel. So what a legend, and like the only white guy who rocks an afro pretty much. So anyways, that's all I had to say for this week's episode. A lot has happened. I feel like a lot more happened this week than the week before, and that is probably true. I was waiting for 280 for UFC 280 for a while. But anyways, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Mexican Grand Prix. Enjoy another Sunday of football. Buccaneers are playing the Ravens tonight. I don't think I'm going to watch it because it starts at 3 a.m. I got school the next day. But I'm just saying, I might wake up and everyone's like, Tom Brady's back. And I could be right. I throw maybe throw in a little bit of money. Maybe. Anyways, have a good weekend, guys. I'll be back next week with some more news. We're balling.